Children under the age of 10 steal a car in the long-term care crisis some baby boomers are facing. Today, I read an interesting article on yahoo.com, put out by the AutoWire and written by Stephen Symes, titled, "Little Boys Caught on Camera with Crashed Stolen Hyundai in Detroit." The author said 2 boys who appear to be under the age of 10 were involved with this situation. Some believe they are under the age of 7. The author said some people are speculating they may have stolen the car from a close relative, a parent, or maybe an aunt. The author went on to say, "We're not so sure because we've covered kids as young as 8 stealing cars, including some performing armed carjackings." The author also made mention of how easy it is to steal Hyundais and Kias because of their lack of an engine immobilizer. Here are my thoughts. When I read this today, it gave me flashbacks to my very first semester teaching in a public school. I taught middle school at that time. There was a young middle school student who had a lot of behavioral problems. He went missing from class for about a week. The principal happened to be in my classroom one day, and I asked him about where this student had been. He told me that he had stolen a car and driven it approximately 100 miles to another city, and he was caught driving this stolen vehicle in that city. I really can't remember if this student was a 6th grader, 7th grader, or 8th grader. Too many decades have passed since then. But he was a young boy, and I was really shocked that he was capable of doing this. In terms of the story I reported about today, these boys appear to be even younger. In terms of what the author said about stealing Hyundais and Kias, there is information on the internet about people who use the end of a USB Type-A cord to start these vehicles. It's really unbelievable that Hyundai and Kia didn't engineer the ignition systems better during the model years where this is problematic. There is something else I want to mention pertaining to this story. I have to wonder where the parents were when these children were stealing this car, assuming they were. Understand, I'm not casting judgment on these parents. Perhaps they were working. Some parents are now working multiple jobs trying to provide a good life for their children. This could leave the children unsupervised at home, or perhaps supervised by someone who isn't caring for them as good as their own parents would. We live in a world where some low-wage jobs make it difficult for a family to survive. If these young boys did in fact steal this car, I hope they can change their ways before they hurt someone or themselves, or before they become adults and a criminal record could impact their future chances of employability. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, this next article is really sad. I read this on yahoo.com, put out by Business Insider, and written by Eliza Relman and Jennifer Soar, titled, "Gen Xers and Millennials Aren't Ready for the Long-Term Care Crisis Their Baby Boomer Parents Are Facing." According to the authors, as the population of older Americans balloons, so does the financial costs associated with aging. Many millennials and Gen Xers are facing a stark reality. Their parents and grandparents don't have the means to pay for long-term care, and they'll need to help foot the bill, especially since the government doesn't cover large parts of this care. The author said many younger people end up leaving their jobs or working less in order to care for their aging family members. Here are my thoughts. This is a terrible situation. I hate to hear about younger people being put in this situation, but it is noble that they are doing what they can to help their aging family members. These aging family members are fortunate to have children or grandchildren who can help them. Not everyone is so lucky. Getting back to the article, the authors said young people who leave their jobs or work less to help their aging family members may be hurt financially today and in the future, including shrinking their income and future Social Security benefits. My friends, this is the grim reality of what is happening with some American families. This shows you that love trumps money for many people. I think it is great that younger people are doing what is necessary to help their aging family members. I do worry about how these younger people are going to fare when they reach retirement age and lack the resources to survive on their own. I hope they have children or grandchildren that will take care of them. It can be a tough world. It's good to have people in your life who truly love you and care about you and are there for you when you need them. Even then, life isn't always easy for the elderly. My deceased grandmother was never very happy in her final years. She wasn't able to drive anymore. She wasn't able to do many of the things that she once enjoyed. Most of her friends had passed away. She struggled with doing things correctly day to day, which often resulted in her getting into some type of trouble. She did not want to go into a nursing home or any type of assisted living facility. She would regularly talk about wanting to be put on a chunk of ice and floated out into the sea like the Eskimos did. I'm not sure where she heard that myth. She would talk about it regularly, though, because she was so unhappy. I found this article on straightdope.com, written by Straight Dope staff, and published on May 4th, 2004, which is titled, "Did Eskimos Put Their Elderly on Ice Floes to Die?" The article references an old movie from 1959 called The Savage Innocents, where a woman was put on a piece of ice to die, but she was later rescued. Perhaps my grandmother watched that old movie in 1959, and maybe that's how she got that idea into her head. Now, I've gotten a bit off topic, so I'll get back to the article about Gen Xers and millennials not being prepared to help their aging family members. The authors referenced a 2023 report from the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies, which revealed that fewer than 15% of people 75 and over living alone in major U.S. cities could afford to pay for assisted living or daily home health aid visits without dipping into their assets. Well, my friends, this really paints a picture of the haves and the have-nots here in America. That gap seems to be widening from everything that I read. I hate to imagine what the future holds for some elderly people here in America. My heart goes out to those who are left with few options. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.